I am a Roanoke City police officer. Due to the abundance of criminal activity on your property, I must advise you that your guests are in imminent risk of harm from uninvited low-lifers and lunatics.
This is the 96th time that we have had to call the Roanoke City Police Department in the last 3 years to this property to report the presence of trespassers who have refused to leave the premises, have been here for larcenies, disorderly people, suspicious circumstances, in suspected drug offenses, robberies, malicious woundings, shootings, and other financially and criminally assaultive aids.
Could there be a 97th occurrence of violence based on this information?
Maybe, maybe not. No one knows the future.
Hey yo, I'm Derek W. Smith. I'm not a registered guest here, but I want your money.
But I'm broke.
Bop, 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 bop. Now you're dead, bro. Give me that watch, boy.
The Holiday Inn Express in downtown Virginia knew of significant criminal activity taking place prior to me being shot and did not take necessary precautions given these indications of imminent risk to its guests.
It is a tragedy that Tabota was injured. However, we, Dally 7, claim that since Dally 7 neither knew of the danger of a potential injury to a guest from the criminal conduct of a third party, nor had reason to foresee this danger, therefore we cannot be held liable. We request summary judgment.
Prior to this incident, did you have reason to believe your guests would be endangered based on the amount of criminal activity taking place on your property?
Well, we did call the police 96 times in a 3-year period prior to this incident, which are often violent in nature. In fact, this would be the 97th time that we've had to call the police for something like this, now that I think about it. I would go so far as to conclude that our Holiday Inn Express in downtown Roanoke, Virginia is in a high crime area.
This testimony should be sufficient to support the conclusion that the criminal act of a third party to cause injury to invitees was a very foreseeable occurrence by Dally 7. Dally 7 was negligent in not providing reasonable care for its guests when such a danger to its guests was so blatantly foreseeable.
We decline summary judgment for Dally 7. In order to avoid liability, the defendant could have hired security to protect the premises or warned its guests of danger, especially since instances of this nature were obviously foreseeable, given the amount of criminal activity previously taking place on their property.